All right, so trust the process. Your time is coming. Just do the work and the results will handle themselves. Okay? So trust the process. The process is God. He goes before us and wins our battle. He does everything for us if we let him. So all we have to do is just do the work and the results will handle themselves. All we have to do is take the step, the step of faith. Even though we can't see it, we step towards it. God called us to do it, we just take that one step towards it. And then, oh, this problem's happening, that problem's happening. It's okay, I trust you, God. Take another step. If God brings you to it, he'll bring you through it. Amen? That's the key to patience. That's the key to patience completely, is that you have to, it's all right, don't touch it. That's the next verse. But that's the key to patience, is to just wait on the Lord. And the next verse is Philippians 4:6. Says, be anxious for nothing. Which, that right there, be anxious for nothing. That's just saying, be patient. Because when you're anxious, when you have anxiety, it's because you want it to happen right now. I wish I could just get through this part because I know the next part is really great. And what do I do? What can I do? But it says, be patient or anxious for nothing, but everything with prayer and petition, with thanksgiving, present your requests to God. Amen? So, but in everything by prayer and petition. So when you're being anxious, it says, I read it on the board back there, that those verses got put up there, which I love those, by the way. But it said, pray prayer without ceasing. So when you're being anxious, when things are bothering you, pray. And then thank God. Whatever situation that's going on in your life, and whatever thing that's bothering you at that exact moment, thank him that he's already got it under control. That he's already got it taken care of. Because he does. He goes before us and wins our battles. You know? You notice every character in the Bible, every one of them that was patient and was waiting, God brought them out in the end. But everyone that was anxious, even the same ones, sometimes Moses got exactly what he wanted. Sometimes David got exactly what he wanted. But sometimes they didn't, because they wanted something that God did not ask or did not plan for their lives. You know what I'm saying? They went after something that was not supposed to be in the plan. But as Romans 12:28, or not 12, 8:28 says, God works all things out for the greater good for those who are called according to his purpose. And we are all called if you got Jesus in your heart. Amen? Let's go to the next verse. Good job, son. My future son, man, right there. All right. Be completely humble and gentle. This is in Ephesians 4:2, sorry. Be completely humble and gentle. Be patient, bearing with one another in love. Okay, so be completely humble and gentle. So when my kids are, because that's what it sounds like when they're all wanting something at the same time. It's like Charlie Brown's teacher. You can't hear wah, wah, wah. Exactly. You can't hear anything that they're saying. So that's why you have to take a deep breath. Be humble. Don't think too highly of yourself, that their problems may not be important to you, but their problems are very important to them. So we need to bring ourselves down to them and humble ourselves and gently direct them in the way they should go. And then be patient with them, because especially Pockets, I'll tell him something and he's like, okay, and then he'll do it again just to see if I was right or wrong. You know, he wants to know if Dad's right or not. So he's probably gonna have some pain in his life, you know, because I'm gonna tell him, hey, that stove's hot, don't touch it. And he's gonna be like, okay, don't touch it. Ow! That hurt, you know? But then he'll realize, oh, Dad was right, I shouldn't have touched it. How many times have we done that as God, or to God? How many times did God say, don't do that? And we're like, yeah, but it looks so tempting. Ow! You
like
know?
a mousetrap.
Like a mousetrap, exactly, bud. Like a mousetrap. You don't stick your fingers in a mousetrap, do you? But bearing with one another, that's the key, is you have to patiently love them gently and humbly. And that's pretty much that verse altogether. You know, it's you gotta bear with them. Understand where they're coming from. Understand their perspective. This is what I say all the time. Put yourself in my shoes. Try to understand where I'm coming from, you know? But we gotta do the same thing. We can't be all about just put yourself in my shoes. We gotta do the same. Put yourself in their shoes. See where they're coming from and look at their perspective. Amen? All right, go to the next verse. Good job. All right. This is in Proverbs 15:18. It says, the hot-tempered person stirs up conflict, but the one who is patient calms the quarrel. So therefore, it's kind of like the same one. I think also in 15:1, it says, okay, just hurry up. Yeah. Oh yeah, just like in Proverbs 15:1, it says, do not add fuel to the fire and the fire will go out. So this means you have to be patient. You have to wait. Now, I like the American language, because a lot of times in the American language, different words have a couple different meanings. Like the word wait. To wait means I'm gonna wait for you to come and you're gonna come over here and then we'll talk. That's one wait. Another wait is like a waiter. Tends to your needs, gets your drinks, brings your food, asks if you need anything like salt, pepper, ketchup. Waiting. Sometimes that's what we have to do, patiently waiting on the Lord.
Yeah, like, don't talk when the teacher's talking. You have to wait.
Exactly. Don't talk while the preacher's talking.
Teacher.
But, so we need to wait on the Lord like a waiter waits on us in service. We take our steps towards what God has put in front of us, what God has called us to do. We serve. He called us to be the chief. He called us to be the preacher. He called us to be the teacher. He called us to be the whatever. Whoever's in your life, that's who you're supposed to connect to. That's who God put in your life, and that's your mission field. You know, when I was a kid, I always wanted to go on a mission trip. Still haven't went. Maybe one of these days I will. But I realized that I've been on a mission trip. And And my mission trip is right here where I'm at, and the people that I come in contact with. And I'm getting a little bit off track, but that's okay. But let's roll it back and bring it back into perspective. But
What?
being patient will stop out quarrels and arguments. Because if you don't add anything to the fire, it'll go out, right? Let's go to the next verse. All right. This is in Ecclesiastes. I don't know if this is a small prophet, Arlen, but it is one that doesn't get read a lot. This is right after Proverbs in your Bible. Ecclesiastes 7, 8, and 9. It says, better is the end of things than the beginning thereof. And the patient in spirit is better than the proud in spirit. Be not hasty in thy spirit to be angry, for anger results in the bosom of fools. Amen? All right, so let's break this down a little bit. Better is the end of the thing than the beginning. All right, so it's all right. So it seems like everything is messing with the patience too. Do you notice that? With my babies running around and they're trying their hardest to help dad, and they got their own little agendas too, which I love. Okay, so better is the end of things. All right, so when you start into something, let me take my career for example. I worked for a guy for 15 years. I was comfortable. Then he decided he was going to retire. And then I became scared because that's all I knew, you know, and God called me to go out and start my own business and to go out on my own. In the beginning, I was, lack of a better word, freaked out about it because I didn't know what to expect. I didn't understand what I was going to have to do and go through and get. But honestly, God put all the right people in my life to help me and guide me. But at that moment, I couldn't see that. I couldn't see that He has. So that's why at the end, now that I've been running my business successfully now for 7 years, it's just a routine. It's just, I know what I need to do. I know what I got to do. I just go do it. You know, I'm not fearful about it. I'm not scared about it. I know God will just take me through it. So in the beginning, better is the end than the beginning. So in the beginning, I was scared and fearful and all that. And then He guided me and directed me. In the end, it was great. It turned out good because of patience. I wasn't that patient at the time. I'm still working on my patience, honestly. But by time going on, there was another song, I should have played it this morning, but it was In God's Time and Not Mine. It's an older song too. But in God's time, He will bring us to a place of completion where we'll be happy. And we do not always see the road that He's taken us down, and we do not understand why this has got to happen so this can be better, and why this has got to happen so He can take care of us in another area. We got to remember that God sees the big picture. He knows what the end result's going to look like. Just like when you're building a building, the builder has the picture in his head. And now, because of computer graphics, we can show the same images to customers. You know, this is what it's going to look like, you know. But the builder can see the big picture at the end. So sometimes when you're at the job site and you look at a job site and it's a mess. You got bricks laying everywhere, you got lumber laying over here, you got shingles over there, you know. it just looks like chaos. But at the end, after patiently waiting, sometimes 6 months to a year, depending on how big of a house they're building, they see the big picture. They see the results. So we always have to be patiently waiting for God to get us to the point that He put us at. Amen? Go ahead, son.
Amen.
Amen. That warms my heart every time. Oh, try again. There you go. All right, this is in James 5:8. It says, be patient, strengthen your heart, for the coming of the Lord is near. This is God. This is what God laid on James's heart, because God's coming soon. Really, even when James wrote this, God still was coming soon. You know, soon to us is this service is going to be over soon, right? Soon to God, a day is like 1,000 years, and 1,000 years is like a day. So it's only been 2,000 years, roughly, since James wrote this. So in reality, it could only been a couple days for God. You see what I mean? So that's why we should be patiently waiting for God to take care of everything. The Lord is near. He is in our hearts. And He is ready to take us to do great and mighty works, to help that person that nobody else can reach. The only person that can reach it is Armin, or is John, or Sarah, Roger. That's the only people that can reach. Okay, I can reach certain people, but if I haven't been through what they have been through, or like-minded, they kind of dismiss what I'm saying, because they're like, you just don't understand what I've been through. You don't get it. Like, Chief, you've been through a lot in your life, right? So when somebody else that's been through a lot in their life, you guys can relate and connect. So each one of you have a purpose for each and every one of you. God has a purpose for each person that comes in contact with you. Does that make sense? I'm hoping it does, because I don't know how else to explain it. So we got to be patiently waiting for God's purpose. To be patient and strengthen your heart. How do we strengthen our heart? Any answers? What's that, FT?
Exercise.
Okay. But in the spiritual world, we need spiritual exercise. So how do we spiritually exercise? I like the way you put that, exercise. That's it. You held up your Bible. We spiritually exercise by getting that personal relationship with God. We exercise by picking up our word and digging deep and asking for understanding and wisdom. Amen? Is there another verse? Okay. Let's see. No, I don't think there is, son. Try to push in a different spot. No, I think that's all we have. It is? All right, click on it one more time. There you go. No, just once. Can you hit it just once? There you go. Good job. 5-year-old sound man. Fixing to be 6. Amen. Yeah, you am. Tuesday. Okay, so just like exercise, though, I'm glad you said exercise, FT, because that helps a lot. Because just like exercise, if you don't put in the work, you will not get any results. My biceps are really sore. I worked out my biceps this week, or yesterday. So my biceps are super sore right now. Got 60-pound dumbbells, 3 sets of 12. on each arm. And now I'm paying for it, but I'm getting the results. No pain, no gain, right? So sometimes we have to have pain. Through our suffering, we gain greater patience. You know? We have to have that soreness. We have to have that experience that we've been through it. That way we can help those people, because there's a lot of hurting people out there that don't have Jesus. They don't have what we do. And it's hard for us. Could you imagine how hard it is for them? Why do you think there is so much suicide out there? That program that the guy came, I can't remember his name, but that Vince, yeah, that is a great program. I wish I had more time on my plate, because that program helps people, you know, Vietnam vets and first responders that create a lot of, get a lot of, what do you call it? Pain, suffering. They see a lot of traumatizing things. And through that program that is Bible-based, it gets them through it and helps people not commit suicide, you know. So great programs like that. Only that guy, he can only reach, he's the one that can reach people like vets and Chief here, the ones that have been in war and seen things that we couldn't imagine. Well, we could imagine because we've probably seen it on TV, but it's still not as bad as seeing it in real life. TV dulls it down a lot. Because I promise I look way better on TV than I do on camera. Just saying. But we have to exercise our heart. We have to strengthen our heart to get patience, to be patient. We have to go through some stuff. What does James say? Consider it all joy for the various trials that you go through. Consider it all joy. So we're supposed to be happy about it, because it's just going to strengthen us to get us to the next level. Amen? I love it when you say amen, little dude. All right. Well, that's about all I have for you guys today.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we have Lizzie. This is my favorite part, where I get to hear from you guys, and I'll see you guys next week.